Welcome again, guys. This is Module 3, Metals and Alloys, and in this lecture video, we will discuss about the occurrence of metals. Pero bago muna ang lahat, let me introduce myself first. I am Miljan Gumbay. I'm a registered chemist and a licensed professional teacher who teaches here in Camarines Sur Polytechnic Colleges. So on with the video. Here in this video, we will determine where metals came from, define minerals and ores, and lastly, give examples of mineral ores of some common metals. Okay, so let us first define what are metals. Metals are elements that are good conductor of heat and electricity. It's the first criteria or the first property that is mostly associated with your metals. It should be a good conductor of heat and electricity. But aside from that property, we also have another property, which is it has the tendency to form positive ions in ionic compounds. Meaning, it has this tendency to lose electrons, forming now your positively charged ions, or what you call cations. For example, for sodium, we all know that sodium is a metal because it can lose one electron, forming a sodium ion, which is Na+. So it has positive one charge because it loses one electron. So when it forms an ionic compound with another element, you have actually a sodium ion because sodium has lost one electron. So it forms positive ions. So for metals, we have two properties that makes it identify it as a metal. First, dapat siya ay good conductor of heat and electricity, and it should form or have the tendency to form positive ions. So those are your metals. Now, in the Earth's crust, okay, these are the elements that you find. Okay, so 45% or 45.5% there is oxygen. Okay, it's apparently oxygen because karamihan ng mga rocks natin sa nakikita natin sa Earth's crust are actually oxides of different elements. Okay, then that's followed by silicon kasi most of your soil particles, especially sand particles, are silicates, meaning these are composed of silicon and oxygen. So you have there silicon. Then about 1/3 na natitira are more likely metals. Okay, so the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust is aluminum, which is composed of 8.3%, followed by your iron, calcium, magnesium, at kahit yung mga all others na yan, more likely most of them are metal. So we can actually say na 1/3 of the Earth's crust are actually metals. So ganun siya ka-abundant din kung iisipin sa Earth's crust natin. Ibig sabihin, dito pa lang makikita natin that your metals are actually found sa Earth's crust. Okay? So let's go now to the occurrence of metals. Saan nga ba nanggaling talaga ang mga metals na ito? Okay? So let's have this term, mineral. Okay? When we talk about mineral, this is a naturally occurring substance with a range of chemical composition. Take note, these are naturally occurring substances. Okay? So natural lang siya na nakikita sa ating environment, which more likely differs in different composition. Okay? Differs in composition. So, yung nakikita natin mga rocks sa paligid natin, these are actually considered as minerals. Okay? So, kahit i-ground mo yung mga rocks na yan, they are actually referred to as minerals. Now, sa mga metals natin, okay, nakukuha natin siya from the ore. Okay? So, an ore is a mineral deposit concentrated enough to allow economical recovery of a desired metal. Take note, maraming iba't ibang klase ng mineral sa ating Earth's crust. But most of these minerals, okay, are actually silicates. Okay? Or mga compounds or substances na merong silicon bonded with oxygen. Pero there are also minerals na merong mga metals. Okay? So, those are all metallic minerals. Okay? And that all metallic minerals can be ores. Okay? Kasi yung ore, these are mineral deposit na kaya natin makakuha ng economical recovery of that metal na gusto natin. So, when we talk about economical recovery, dapat makukuha natin siya sapat at sulit sa gastos natin at sa pagkuha natin. For example, meron tayong 1,000 gram nung bato o nung mineral, pero ang makukuha mo na naman dyan is 5 milligrams lang nung metal. It's not sulit. It's not economical recovery. So when we talk about ore, it should be a mineral deposit na merong maraming composition ng metal or sapat yung dami niya para compensated naman yung pagmina ng mineral. Okay, that's your ore. So we also usually refer to it as mineral ore. So on your screen, you can see there a manganese ore. Okay, that's actually a manganese ore that is mined from Coron, Palawan. Ayan, so yan ay naglalaman ng manganese. Okay, which is the manganese is bonded with other elements, especially silicon and oxygen. So that's your minerals and ores. Okay, so pagdating sa mga minerals, marami tayong iba't ibang klase ng minerals. Okay, meron tayong mga uncombined metals. So these are actually metals na hindi naka-combine with other elements. They're uncombined. So they can you can see them as free metals, like for example, silver, gold, bismuth, copper, palladium, and platinum. Okay, so we also have your carbonates, wherein your metals are combined with your carbonate or CO3. So example natin dyan, as you can see there, is your limestone or calcite, which is calcium carbonate. Okay, you also have there your magnesite, which is magnesium carbonate. Aside from that, you also have your halides, wherein your metals are bonded with halogens, especially fluorine and chlorine. So you have there your fluoride or fluorspar, okay, which is calcium fluoride, or you also have there your halide, which is sodium chloride. Now, yung mineral name or mineral form ng sodium chloride is known as halide. Okay, yun yung pangalan niya as mineral. Okay, you also have oxides, of course. So may ang mga minerals natin na nagko-contain ng oxygen. So your metal are bonded with your oxygen. We call them your oxides. And take note, marami ito dahil sa marami nga yung oxygen sa ating Earth's crust. Okay? So you have there, notable dyan, makikita ninyo yung bauxite, which is the aluminum mineral ore. Okay? You have also there your hematite and magnetite for iron. Those are your mineral ore for iron, hematite and magnetite. You also have there your cuprite, which is the mineral ore for copper. Okay. Then aside from that, you also have your phosphates, wherein your metal is bonded to a phosphate group, which is PO4. And example dyan is your phosphate rock, which is your calcium phosphate. Okay. You also have your silicates, meaning na-combine yung aking metal with a silicate. That's Si. So a silicon with oxygen. So you have there's beryl and your zircon. Okay. So sulfides din naman, your metal is bonded with a sulfur ion or sulfur atom. Okay. Notable dyan yung ating pyrite, which is iron sulfide, and you have also there your galena, which is your lead sulfide. Okay, and lastly, there are what you call sulfates, wherein your metal is combined with the sulfate SO4, forming your mineral. So, for example, dyan you have your epsomite for magnesium, that's actually one of your mineral ore for magnesium. So these are your minerals, different types of minerals. And take note, you can see that these metals can be free or uncombined metals, or they can be bonded with different elements, forming this wide array of minerals. Okay, so take note, mineral ores are mined. So it can be through surface mining, wherein sa ibabaw lang siya ng mga kabundukan. So umiunti yung bundok, pinukuna ng mga mineral mismo or mineral ore. Then, pwede rin naman underground mining. So gagawa ng mga tunnels para makuha or ma-access yung mga mineral ores sa ilalim ng lupa. Or pwede namang small scale mining, wherein kinukuha yung mga runoff minerals from the rivers. So those are different ways to mine your mineral ores. Now here in the Philippines, we have a lot of metallic mineral deposits. So here is a map where you can see actually the different mineral deposits or metallic mineral deposits here in the Philippines. So here in the Philippines, we have gold deposit, we have chromium, copper, iron, manganese, and nickel deposits. So you can pause the video so that you can look more closer dun sa mga dito sa mapa, nandito sa screen ninyo. So as you can see, all of these metallic mineral deposits are scattered across the whole archipelago. Yeah. Then these are examples of your mineral ores of different common metals. Like say for example, on the first frame, you have there nickel ore. Okay, so those are mineral ores for nickel, Ni. On the second frame, you can see here, and you have your iron. Those are your iron mineral ores. So you can get iron from those rocks. So ibig sabihin marami ring iron content yung mga rocks na yan. So yan. Those, for example, this one is limonite. That's actually a hydrate of your iron oxide hydroxide. So yun. Medyo mouthful siyang sabihin. Then you have also your hematite here, which is your ferric oxide. On this third frame, you have your chromite. Chromites are actually mineral ore for chromium. So, usually ang chromite ay may ganitong chemical formula, FeCr2O4. So, you get there your chromium. And then, you have here your common copper ores here in the Philippines. And you have here on this one, this is actually your chalcopyrite, which is actually your pyrite, yung FeS2. Pero meron kang copper, kaya chalcopyrite. So this is also a mineral ore for copper. Yeah. So now, which is the best, how do we get the best mineral ore for each of your metal? Simple lang. We will just use the concept of theoretical yield or yung percent composition sa isang sa isang material. For example, this rock contains how many percent of iron compared with oxygen and other elements na nakita mo doon. So, pag nakita nyo marami siya compared with the other mineral ore, so isa yun sa batayan natin para masabi natin that this type of rock or mineral is a good or not the best ore sa mga iba pang nating minerals. So, concept lang yan ng percent composition. Okay. So, as a summary, okay, metals came from the Earth's crust. Some are found as free metals, but most metals are bound to other elements forming minerals. So, these are your rocks that you found on your Earth's crust. Okay. So, I do hope marami kayong tutunan dito sa lecture video nito. And remember guys, to keep calm and love chemistry. See you on the next video.